Yes, we back up. Yo, we back up. Apparently you guys like us because we here to do another one, man. We back live from the green room. Our brother Trey Elliott is not here this weekend. He is in Austin, Texas doing shows before I get there to do shows for the weekend with him. Joe Feezy Fox is in the building.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, brother?
Man, I am well. I see now you matched up with the show.
Let me say about these, thank you for asking. Let me say about these kicks right here. So my brother Jordan was in Japan doing shows.
Whoa.
And he was on his IG live walking around Japan, and I said on his message, hey, I know you're going to bring me back some sneakers that I have never seen before in the States. And he said, I got you. And he brought these back. So shout out to my little brother Jordan. And it matches perfectly with the top. So we you know, rock boys in the building, man. What? You know, this is how we do it.
He brought you some knockoffs like that?
We're going to jump right into this episode. This is a cat that I respect tremendously in the business. Very many titles. Actor, writer, host, commentator, reality show star.
Well, I was a co-star.
Co-star. What am I missing? What hat am I missing?
Author.
Yeah,
author. I said writer.
Author, and now I'm,
podcaster as well. Podcaster as well. Yes.
Now I'm on stage.
Now he's on. I was gonna save that one for last.
Yes,
I was gonna say, and also my favorite of the hats he wears, comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Hill is in the building live in the green room.
Mike
I'm happy to be
Hill.
here. What up, Feezy?
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? How are you, man? Thank you so much for being here,
I
brother.
respect
thanks,
you, brother,
brother.
so much. I'm just honored to be here with you.
Thank you
today.
so much, man.
He was here early too.
Was here,
time.
now listen,
On
the one weekend, just so you know, as every episode we've done, I've been here an hour before everybody else. Had to stop and get gas. Had to get something to eat. I pull up, Mike's already standing here like, yo, what's up?
Man, I work for the white folks over here.
Hilarious.
I get that corporate shit, so, you know.
Let me
I was
tell
in
you.
the military too, so I'm veteran.
Oh, where are you? Where are you?
yeah.
I did not know
Air
that.
Force,
I was
right?
in the Air Force for 6 years, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get into your whole story because, like, I know you're my man in the whole nine, but I don't know the Mike Hill story.
Yeah, man.
But first, I'm gonna say this: you have the job that I thought I would have before. You know, I said I'm gonna take a chance on my life and try the comedy thing. So my parents, you know, they stress education. They wanted us to go traditional. Education, college, marry your college sweetheart, work a job for 30 years, retire, and that's your life.
Right.
Unfortunately for them, all of the Rock brothers, the majority of the Rock brothers took a chance on themselves and went the independent route. Chris, my brother Andre owns his own trucking company. My brother Brian works in Atlanta in the school system. Everybody kind of took a chance on themselves and did their own thing. It is working out so far. But when I thought, my dad would always say, pick a job you love and you won't work a day in your life. When I thought about having a job, what does that look like for me when I was younger? I thought, okay, I love sports. If I could talk about sports every day and go to sporting events and, you know, talk about them from there and be on the sideline, that seemed like it would be a great job to have.
Man.
So your job was the job I envisioned when I thought about having a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely,
So
man.
I look at you on TV and I'm
man.
like, I would have been Mike Hill.
Man, and you can still be Mike Hill.
I can still be Mike Hill, right.
You can still be Mike Hill. The thing is, man, in this broadcast industry, man, we integrate so many different genres and people with different platforms to come on. Now you can be a part of the show. You look at the best broadcasters right now. Charles Barkley, the reason why he's so good on television because he's funny.
Right,
Shaq,
right.
The reason why he's so good and memorable is because he's funny. Even Pat McAfee now. These guys are not just, they're not journalists, they're not TV hosts, they're personalities.
Right.
And you can do the same thing, man.
Right.
I have not worked in 29 years, bro. I've been a broadcaster for 29 years. I love everything that I do. All the titles you gave me, I love everything that I do.
And you know what's interesting now? I love the lane now with other talent, like the rappers that are doing podcasts and the singers that are doing cooking shows. And remember back in the day, if you was a rapper, you was so stuck in that box because you had to keep it real that you didn't even look at yourself as an entity. So now you got Cameron doing sports talk.
And Mace,
And you got Mace doing sports talk. You got this guy doing it. You got Action Bronson doing cooking. You got when before every rapper was like, I just have to stay here because that's where my credibility is.
And that's
so it's great to see that you said, we can wear every hat now.
And that's where your span ends, man. You got to be versatile. You
Right.
got to have so many hats. You got to be a multi-hyphenate, as they call it out here.
Right.
Because you never know. I could be a sportscaster. I was a sportscaster for a long time, and now I've gotten into TV news. I've done entertainment news. I've hosted my own show. You came on the show. I had it on Fox Soul, the Mike and Donnie show. You guys came on the show.
Right.
Everybody's, you got to expand, because one day somebody's going to say, you know what, motherfucker, you ain't good. You ain't good enough. We don't want you no more. We don't need you no more. Okay, well, you stopped me from doing this. I got
something
like
else
10
to do.
other things.
Right, we don't want you. You don't check this box anymore, not knowing I got 20 more boxes.
I got 20 more boxes. And so when it comes to like stay in your lane and stay in your box, I don't say, don't put a dot in the box. I'm not going to be in the box. There is no box.
Right.
There is no box when it comes to that, man. So don't tell me what lane to be in, because I run the whole track.
And it's real interesting when other artists or performers, they have other interests that, like, they're real versatile, and they can bring in more audience, more fans to check out their original. Like if you're a rapper and now you're talking about cooking or art or fashion or anything, it's like a whole nother lane that brings more people that you weren't exposed to when you first was exposed to the world. So,
absolutely. And they need to be exposed to your lane too, man. You think about like the best, some of the best actors in Hollywood right now. They used to be rappers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
LL
They're comics.
Will Smith.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Hey.
I forgot where I was for a second. I'm sorry. But it's true. It's true.
Yeah. It's all good.
That is him, right? That is the original Jamie Foxx, isn't it?
So that's what I'm saying. So all those guys, they used to, like, Jamie Foxx came out here to be a singer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A great actor, man. And he got into singing after acting. So sometimes I got into sportscasting because I wanted to become an actor. I wanted to be an actor in the beginning.
Really?
That's the reason why I wanted to. So I said, well, you know what? How can I get on television? Do something that is a little bit more stable.
Right.
Because I knew acting, and when I grew up in New York and moved to Alabama, there wasn't a lot of acting down there and stuff like that. So I said, you know what? I love sports just like you. I knew I sucked at sports. I knew I wasn't going to play professional.
Okay, see, that was my question was going to be like, were you an athlete in high school, and then you were like, it's not.
I was an athlete. I played in high school. I played when I was in the military. Played overseas. It would be like the equivalent of NAIA or whatever. But
Okay.
I knew I had no.
All right, listen, I'm going to pour up I got to plug the sponsor. I'm going to pour up my Captain Kirk's Jamaican rum punch.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to take a sip, and I'm going to let you just have the floor. I want to know the Mike Hill story. You just said I lived in New York and moved to Alabama.
Yes.
Did not know any of that. So start from wherever you want to start from and take us through it.
Born in New York, always going to be home, right across the street from Yankee Stadium, 158th Street.
Oh, you Bronx?
In the Bronx.
Boogie down Bronx,
Okay,
always
I'll
going
let
to be in
that
my
slide,
heart.
I'll
Yes,
let
always. I love Queens. Don't get me wrong. Love Queens, love Brooklyn, love all the boroughs, man. New York is New York. But my mom got married when I was young and moved down to Alabama. When I went down there, man, I didn't understand what the fuck they were saying. Can I curse? I'm sorry.
Yes, of course.
Oh, yeah. Do you?
They
Can you
understand.
curse on my show?
Okay, I'm gonna say, I didn't know.
You know the fuck I am?
Hilarious.
I said, they couldn't understand what the fuck I was saying. I didn't understand what the fuck they were saying. So I had two different languages. I went down there like, talking like a New York guy. And I'm like, hey, cuz, where you from, man? Hey, man, look, New York over here, man.
They called you New York City.
They called me New York.
Yeah.
Hey, he from New York City.
You be knowing them rap songs and shit, cuz. You know what
Hilarious.
I'm saying? So I was that guy from New York, whatever, that knew all the rap songs, brought the new tapes down and all that type of
Yes,
stuff like that.
yes. Oh,
yeah.
Brought it back. I was introducing them to hip hop and shit like that. I remember when the show came out and nobody knew the lyrics to the show except me. And
Slick
I
and
wrote
Dougie.
down the lyrics
Hilarious.
of the show to this girl that I like and gave it to her, man. I got a kiss out of it. I ain't got no pussy. It's all good. I got something. I got something. Get fresh crew. Maybe
Kiss
get fresh
for lyrics.
You know what I'm saying?
Bring me the tape, man.
But so I went to high school down there, and I say Alabama kind of raised me.
What part of Alabama?
Bessemer.
Bessemer.
But down in Bessemer, they don't call it Bessemer.
They call it
It's
Bessemer.
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 They don't enunciate.
Bessemer.
Like I said, they don't enunciate. Like, if you wanted to know the full meaning of what it's like to be in Alabama, like the first time I went down there, and I was down there, there's this guy named this Tony. He had waves in his hair. And I said, man, how'd you get the waves in your hair like that? He said, man, all you gotta do, man, go down there and put this can, myrrh, hair,
Myrrh.
I'm like, okay. So I went to the store. I'm like, I'm asking the man. I said, hey, man, I'm looking for some Myrrh's hair grease. He said, well, we don't have Myrrh's hair grease. I'm like, so I went back to Tony. I'm like, man, hey, man, it's in that orange can.
In that
bro.
orange can.
Like, Myrrh's. So I went back to the store. I said, no, he said it's in an orange can. Myrrh's. It's like, do you mean Murray's hair grease? So that's the enunciation
Hilarious.
of what it's like to be in Bessemer, man. But I learned that language. They learned my language, man. Then I went Left the Alabama when I was 18 as soon as I could. Went into the military. Was in the military for 6 years. Served in the Air Force. I was at NSA. A lot of people don't even know I had a top secret clearance.
Oh, wow.
Went to the National Security Agency. I know about a lot of shit that this country has done that I can never talk about. And that's God honest truth. It kind of scares me that I know this type of shit.
Can you talk about it after the mics are off?
Well, no, nigga, I don't. You know our government?
Yeah.
Shit, okay.
Yeah, I don't even want to know because I'll slip up and say that shit.
Yeah, your ass be missing.
I'll be in the
too.
club like, yo, Mike Hill told me, motherfucker.
What do you think they're gonna clone you or something?
Your ass be missing too, bro. I'm serious, man. There's certain things now, and I didn't
sure
have access to a lot of rooms, but a lot of people didn't even know about that. Now I don't know how I got a top secret clearance before 9/11 because they do background checks, and I'm like, y'all niggas didn't talk to some of my cousins. You didn't know, and then my dad. The whole story, you read the book in open mic. Right. My dad, my biological father wasn't in my life. My stepfather was abusive. He was an alcoholic. He loved me. He didn't know how to show that type of love. So he found out when I was 22 years old that he was a hitman. Straight up, bro. A hitman. He spent the last 9 years of his life in prison for murder for hire. The reason he was in it is because he took out a hit to have his wife killed. Oh, my mom had already left him. They had his wife killed. And she died on she got shot on the church grounds, bro, of his brother-in-law's church. Wow. And so they found out he was behind it. He went to jail for 9 years, man. So that's something I had to deal with and all that type of stuff like that. But, went into, as soon as I got out of the military, got my first job in broadcasting, man. And like I said, from Hagerstown to Fresno, Fresno to Nashville, Nashville to New York, Dallas, ESPN. And I've been here the last 10 years, man. It's been a ride.
What's that first job in broadcasting? How does that happen? Like, is there like...
Yeah, so it's a process, man. I was in the military, and everything happens. Now, as much as I curse and do all this crazy stuff, man, I know there's a higher power.
Oh, absolutely.
No,
you talking to the one. You talking to one of God's favorites.
No, exactly. I'm blessed. I feel like I'm highly favored, man. He looks out for me. So when I was in the military, I was going to school. I was in the military and putting out these tapes, sending out the resumes, trying to get on, all that type of stuff like that. I sent out 75 resume tapes, and I got 3 callbacks. 3. So 72 rejection letters and 3 callbacks. And 2 of them was telling me how bad my tape was.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So we just wanted to tell you.
One was a nice critique. The other one was like, we laughing at your shit type of shit.
We just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, we just wanted to, you ain't going to get this job. But we going to give you a little feedback, right? And then there was one that was in Hagerstown, Maryland. And this was like, had I gotten a job, when I started sending them out, which was like 8-9 months before I got out of the military, had I gotten a job, I would not have been able to take it. Because you still got to fulfill your commitment.
Right.
The military ain't going to be like, hey, you got a job, nigga? Okay, you can go. No, you still got to commit. So about a month before I got out of the military, I sent this tape to Hagerstown, Maryland. And so 2 weeks before I got out, went there for the job interview. The day of the job interview, I just happened to be living in Maryland. There was the biggest snowstorm that Maryland had ever seen in like the last 70 years or something like that. But luckily I had a 4x4. I got in my car, man. The interview was gonna start at 9. I got in my car at 5. It usually take an hour to get there. I got there like 8:45. That's how long it took me to get there. The guy told me, he said, I didn't think you was gonna show up. I said, there will be nothing in the world that will stop me from being here. Did the interview, rocked that shit. The day I got out of the military, the dude called me. Because when I went, the discharge officer was like, so what you gonna do with your life, Airman Hill? And I had no plan, bro. I had bet all on this. And I said, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna live with my brother. I go home for a second, phone rings 2 hours after I get discharged. The man asked me if I wanted a job in Hagerstown.
Oh, wow.
So everything, I use that analogy because everything happens on God's time.
Absolutely.
It might not be my time. It might not be when you're ready or when you think you're ready or but it's going to be on time for you, man. And it's been, like I said, a great ride ever since.
I absolutely believe that. I don't want to get to, people that are watching. Some people aren't religious. Some people don't have any faith whatsoever. But I tell them all the time. It's like our running joke. Like something will happen with us, and then something will happen an hour later that straightens that out. And I go, I'm telling y'all, man, I'm one of God's favorites. Like he ain't gonna let me be played or disrespected or like the other day when we was driving, and the guy was like, "Move along, you can't park here."
Oh yeah. The valet.
I'm trying to ask the guy like, "Hey, the valet's full, but we're performing at the club, so they told us to park in valet. Move along. And I'm like, they told us move along, and I go to the other valet, and the guy's like, "Hey, we're at the Improv tonight. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll take your car. I'll park it. I'll give you your keys back. So however long you want to stay at the club, don't even worry about it, bro." And I'm like, "Here, no, it's all good, bro. Don't worry about it." I'm like, "See that? You see how that guy was a dick? How that worked out? Because God don't play about me, man."
Right, man, when you bless me, that's when people say you blessed and highly favored, man. You are favored, bro. If you and the thing is, man, like I always say, look at your burdens now, because everything I've gone through, especially over the last 2 years, I don't know if y'all gonna talk about all that stuff.
We gonna
Sure,
get into it.
yeah. I have questions. I got some questions.
And I got answers. Y'all my boys, so I feel relaxed with y'all, man. But everything that I've gone through in my life, I've learned to accept. Even if it's a burden, I know that eventually it's gonna turn out to be a blessing.
Right.
And it's been a season for me the last year and a half, the hardest year and a half of my life ever.
Really?
I've been on this earth for 53 years, the hardest. But it's been the hardest, but it's been the most meaningful, because it's made me learn so much and to see so many people and so many things for what they are.
Yeah.
So I can move forward into the next season knowing that I'm good, man. I have had
That's
scars. I've gone through all that shit. Can't nothing touch me. Like you said, man, I'm one of God's children, bro.
That's what like this year. This has been an up and down year for me. I already said on New Year's Eve, the picture I post to say Happy New Year to everybody, Happy 24, is gonna be a picture of me smiling and say, this is what you guys saw the whole 23.
Right.
You have no idea how up I was sometimes, and idea how far down I was at times. You just saw this smile, because that's what I'm gonna do through it all. Like, I'm gonna keep this smile on my face. You guys have no idea the nights I was in a room by myself, like, I can't fucking believe that I'm here.
Yeah.
Or the nights that I was in a room not by myself, like, I can't believe I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I kept the smile on my face, man.
And we're comedians, and people just never think that sometimes we're sad clowns sometimes. That we go through all this pain so that they can hear our punchlines, and we have drama that we have to deal with, and we have to compartmentalize everything and I'm sure you do, like as a sportscaster, you have to be upbeat and all that stuff for the people, because we give so much. We give of ourselves, our image, and people have an expectation of us to bring joy to the life.
Absolutely.
And we go through the same pains that they do.
Like you said, in every profession, man, when that light comes on as a professional, they don't care. When I'm doing sports for, if I'm doing an Ohio State Michigan game, we seen about 18, 20 million people. You think they give a fuck I got into an argument with my girl last night?
Yeah.
Man.
They don't care. I can't go in there looking sad. I understand that I can talk to my boys if I feel in the comfort of space and say, man, I'm not having a good day. But when I'm on, man, we got to perform. And one thing I love, and one of the things that has helped me through it, is doing podcasts like this, is doing comedy, being on the stage, man.
And just speaking.
Y'all motherfuckers never told me how therapeutic
Oh, bruh.
This
is.
What? This is it, bruh. That's it.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
I feel like I'm talking to a therapist, but I ain't got to pay a $300.
Yes,
copay.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what? The things that you go through and then you release on the stage, that's what makes this business so relatable, and people, they get it.
That's our connection to the room.
Yeah.
Your connection to the room is when you're going through something, speaking from the heart organically, and you plug into somebody else.
Yep.
That's the thing. That's the magic. When they're like, "Wow, I just went through that,"
or they know somebody.
I heard about that. I'm kind of helping my friend through that right now.
Right.
That's when they realize, like, oh, this is
That's real.
This is real for me and you. This is therapeutic for both of us.
I don't care what it is. It could be disease or death. It doesn't matter. The way that we as comedians shape that world and our perspective, there's nothing like it, especially when they get it and they come up to you afterwards and they're like, yo, man, I was been through this, man. I came here, and and they released.
But that's what makes
we're
it
doctors,
so
man.
important. I think that's what makes stand-up so important, man. Because, like you said, somebody be having a bad day, could have been on the verge of suicide.
Yep.
And you connected with them in a way that made them feel like they're not alone and made them laugh
Yeah.
at something that has made them cry for 2-3 weeks, maybe months or whatever, but help them to get past that and say, okay, you're not alone with this. Now, like, there are dark places, and I hear, like, you hear a lot of comedians actually killing themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Because they are
that's
so
freaking
dark.
sad.
And what's crazy is, like, half the guys I know that are my friends out here, y'all all comedians. All
That's
y'all
true, yeah.
comedians.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that's how we met.
yeah, just like
Yeah.
I've been through comedians, man. Like, I'm like, and people have been telling me, man, you should get into the comedy game some kind of way. That's why I was talking about podcasts and all that stuff like that. It's like there's a calling that I know in the comedy world. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm doing the stage thing, which has been great. Like I said, it's been therapeutic, and it's also just been like I've been able to unleash. And it's so addictive too.
Absolutely.
Like when you get up there and you start getting
good or bad. When you walk off stage and the first thought is, I can't wait to do that again.
Yes.
Regardless of good or bad, that's when you know, like, I'm in.
You can do that again.
You bomb and you go, I'm doing that shit again tomorrow. It's like a roller coaster ride. Like, let's run back around and get back on. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are the ones that are good. Like you guys, that's like you said. It's almost like you can have like an athlete. Athletes got to forget about the bad ones.
Right.
Or just playing golf, man. If you ever played golf before, you can go out there. The great thing about golf is you'll never perfect it, right? The great thing, the bad thing about golf is you'll never perfect it. So you can play 17 great holes, man, and then on the 18th hole you can get like a 9 or a 10 or whatever and shank every goddamn thing and be mad because you didn't have that perfect, and so you want to get back out there again the next day. Right. And then the opposite could be the same thing. You can go out there and play golf terribly for 17 holes. On that 18th hole, you get a birdie. I'm like, see, I got this.
Made
shit
your day,
right.
yeah.
You want to go back and do it again, man. So that's the same thing with comedy.
Well, I respect, number one, I respect the fact that you even got up there, because I always say that every human being should try stand-up at least once in their life. Yeah. Just so you can have more of a profound respect for us as the performers. Now, if you want to continue doing it, that's great. Right. If you really want to put the work in and do the work, the leg work that it takes, and do the knowledge, learn your history of comedy, great. But I think everybody should try it at least once. If for no other reason than to just say, like, those guys really have a hard job.
And you know what's crazy about that? Me being up there has also helped me in other ways, in other aspects of what I do.
What do you mean?
Like I've been in broadcasting on air, Fox, ESPN, you know, shit. I've been seeing it. I ain't bragging, but I've been seen by millions and millions of people.
Right.
And never felt nervous at all. You know, you get that little nervous energy every now and then, or whatever. But being up on that stage and being in front of that live audience and trying to make them laugh has given me a newfound type of like security and confidence. When I go in the air, now, I'm like, this ain't shit.
You know, it's funny.
You know what I mean?
A lot of times, like those comedy workshops that people take, sometimes they're not even trying to do stand-up. They just want to get over this fear that they have of speaking. So they say the number one fear is speaking in front.
Public speaking.
I was like, I never understood that, but people, they're taking stand-up comedy classes to get over that fear. So yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a very real fear. It's a very real thing. Yeah. Now, see, I saw on Instagram you posted a clip of you doing stand-up the other night.
Yeah, it was at Sunset.
And I was like, okay, I'll wait till I see him on the podcast. Here's a note.
Okay.
Take your hand out your pocket.
Bro, that's the
I do that.
thing. I'm nervous.
Take your hand out. You had your hand in your pocket and you was like standing kind of, I don't know if your back was on the stage, but you were far back from the front. You got to stand in the front, command the room.
Okay.
Stand as close to the front of the stage as you can to let them know I'm in control of this whole room.
Okay.
Yep. Hands out pocket. Yep. Move it. Use it as a tool to talk about things and point out things, you know. But anything you do that looks nervous or like apprehensive, the room can sense it.
Okay, I got it.
Bombing is not about jokes not working. Bombing is losing control of the room.
I got you.
All of the lights are facing you. All of the chairs are facing you. You have a microphone. Nobody else does. You are at an elevated position. Nobody else is. Stand in the front of the stage. Command that shit. I'm the fucking show here.
That's a good
I'm the show.
That's a great note.
You know what I mean?
And you know what's crazy about that is like I find myself sometimes, even though I'm a public figure and I'm out and about and y'all see me out and shit like that and all, when people know who you are, you go out there, I find myself with my hands in my pocket all the time. Just because I'm like awkward in front of crowds, man. I am not a social person.
Oh no, it's fine. Listen, when I first started doing stand-up, I would hold the mic stand. That's a crutch right there. If you ever see somebody doing that, that's a crutch.
Or they lean on it.
Lean on it, hold it. Just somebody, they feel like they have to touch another person. It's like telling somebody, come with me. You know what I mean?
Like, please hug me.
I would hold the mic stand. I would keep the mic right here, and I would look down.
A word,
man.
And I remember my friends at the shows like, fucking pick your head up. And I'm like, I would look at the room. Now, years later, I'm like, I could go on right now. Like, you could plug a mic in right now. Say there's 50,000 people outside. I'm like, I'll be right back.
I've been telling you for years.
It's nothing.
The greatest comedians out there, bro.
I appreciate that, bro.
I've been telling you that. You know what's crazy about this is I saw like the Netflix special that your brother did, Kevin. And I was so happy to see you get your shine on there.
Bruh.
For you to get that time, man. I'm like, and you know what the greatest part of that for you and for me was when Chris said my brother's always been better every day. And to acknowledge that, that right there, man, I'm like, yo, and I think sometimes, you know, you've asked them for favors and all that type of stuff. We all have friends. I got a family member who's a stand-up comedian. I'm not gonna say anything about, you know, who he is, whatever. I can ask him for favor. He ain't gonna help me.
Right.
He doesn't help me.
Right.
He'll say, oh yeah, of course I got you, and talk to me and shit like that, but he ain't gonna help me. But I understand that's a process too.
Right.
And you when you do things on your own sometimes, even if they don't help you, the people that are in line to help you, you get a little bit more satisfaction out of it.
Oh no, my comedy trajectory, there's never been a favor. Like when I said I asked him for favors in my past and he said no, that was like in our youth.
Okay.
Once I decided I was gonna do stand up, it was already like set in stone. I'm gonna do this on my own.
Okay.
Because I never wanted to lose credibility with my peers. I never wanted to be the comic that came around and everybody's telling stories about the open mic they did or the shitty B room they did and they didn't get paid. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, because you didn't fucking go the traditional route the way we did. So I never wanted that to be that guy that's like, oh, no, you don't. This doesn't pertain to you.
I respect that.
So I was like, I'll take my lumps and, you know, I'll bomb and do the 2-seaters and do the bringer shows with the bringer shows with everybody there is somebody's somebody that's on the show. Everybody in the room is somebody that's family. You know what I'm saying? So a family member. I've done all of that. So nobody can ever say, especially in New York, nobody can ever say I didn't walk my dogs, you know what I'm saying? Take my lumps, came to LA, didn't know one person when I got here. I actually knew one person. I knew Butch Bradley. That was my only person I knew when I came here.
Butchie, yeah.
And just, you know, let's walk this pavement. Let's beat the feet.
I remember when you said, your brother said, you got the name, that's enough. You said, like, you got the name.
I had a manager that actually suggested I change my last name. And I was like, yo, it's not my brother's name, it's my family's name.
Wow. What did you say? Just
Like,
change it to what?
Just don't be Tony Rock, because you know my brother was already doing his thing, so it's like be Tony something else. And I'm like, no, you think it's his name? It's not his name. It's my family name. My father's name, my grandfather, my great grandfather. Nah, we got to keep that, bro.
Just as much yours as
and it was like, and plus I was like, I fully intend to live up to it.
There you go.
I fully intend to. There was never any hesitancy on my part at all.
It's funny because, you know, when I came out here, my friend was still Guy Tory. Guy's my brother.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Oh, yeah.
So Guy, y'all similar because Joe came up through Def Jam or whatever. I know Guy said he didn't want the Tory name. Remember, he first came up, he said he was Guy T.
Guy T, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
Guy T.
Yeah, that's
he didn't
right.
want even Tory being associated with because he was trying to get away from, and you know, their relationship.
Yeah, but those two are like those two are like this. But no, but me and Chris and I have been like this at times. But in our youth, as we got older, and you know what's crazy? As we got older, we got close. We were closer as kids because he was big bro. But then that period of time where, like you said, we were talking about earlier, bucking back at people.
Yeah.
When I started getting in that age space where it was like, oh, I can just do what I want. Nobody can tell me what to do. Stupid teenager, didn't know anything but thought I did. That's when we kind of like, you know, butted heads a lot. But as we got older, we got so much closer. This past year, we have been tighter than we've been in a long time.
I saw how tight you are. I saw how you rolled, bro. Like after the incident, I was like, God damn.
Man.
I said, I was scared of your ass. I'm scared to be around you, bro.
Man.
Like all that shit came out of Brooklyn came out.
Listen, like we said before on the previous episode, my dad always said to us, when your brother's in a fight, you're in a fight. So I have been in several fights in my life that I didn't even know what happened. I didn't even know the whole story. I didn't know. I just knew my brother was involved.
Right.
That's all I needed to know.
Yep.
Even if I found out later on, like, oh, you kind of was at fault. It didn't matter. My brother's involved.
Right.
So people were like, it got nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me because my brother is involved.
Exactly.
And that's the way I live my life and will continue to live my life.
That's your loyalty. You
Yeah.
gotta be that way, bro.
I've been in fights. I didn't even know what was going on. Like, wait, who we?
Whose side was
the
on?
guy? They with us. They okay, bet. And then later on, it's like, okay, what happened? What? Yeah, he did this and that happened. All right, well, as long as
somebody
good,
got hit, it's like
right.
you hit my brother or you hit somebody on our side. You know whose side you're supposed to be on. That's a messed up situation. You in the fight and you going against your brother.
Right.
That's why I think just move out of the way, nigga. I'm gonna hit your friend. And if that's the case, I ain't gonna hit you.
Let's get back to the Mike Hill story. So, you want a cup of ice?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
No, yeah, it's kind of warm. Let me get some ice.
So, like, I don't know if you did or didn't, but having an abusive parent is traumatic.
Yeah, very traumatic.
Very traumatic. So, was there a therapy? Was there what was the thing that got you out of that? What was the thing that?
So what's crazy, man, is like we was talking about like writing a book and what makes a motherfucker think he
right.
about it.
I always thought that. I always thought that it was like the nerve of this guy to think his life is a book.
I was exactly the same way, man. Like somebody told me, I used to tell people about my life, about like my best friend killed in the drive-by shooting, my dad hit man, the abuse I saw, pulling the gun on my dad, and all that type of stuff like that. I told him all these stories. And
it's funny now. I'm not even thinking book. I'm thinking this shit is a movie.
No, but but the thing is, people have always said, Mike, you should write this book. And I'm like, who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm on ESPN. Who's gonna read this book? Who wants to read the book? I even talked to my agent. My agent was like, "No, you shouldn't write that book. Maybe write a sports book." There he is. Maybe write a sports book. You know, that's what your fans want to hear about and all that stuff. I'm not feeling a sports book, so I put it down. Didn't say anything. And then about 5 years ago, bro, I would when I was working for the Clippers doing their pre and post game show, I'd be on the road with them traveling and I find myself in these nice ass hotels, 5-star hotels, just chilling, man. I'm like on the road.
The Clippers 5-star hotel?
Yeah, the Clippers, man. Doc Rivers didn't play, but look at that. The Clippers, man. Hey, ever since the billionaire's been over there.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, there you go.
So I be in these nice hotels, man, on the road, making good money and doing all that type of stuff, man. And I'm like, I'm crying. I'm like boo-hooing, like snot coming out my nose. What the fuck is going on, man?
Wow.
It's like, am I losing testosterone? Am I growing titties? What is going on, man? Like, it's just a
Am I
normal
growing
thing.
titties?
What the hell's going on? I'm like, why am I crying like a woman? You know what I'm saying? And something, man, once again, little voice talking about God. You gotta write this book. You gotta write.
Now, how long ago was that? Like
This
at
was
the
like
point?
5 years ago.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's 2023. Yeah, 2018. I started writing the book, and so something said like get an outline. Got the outline going. And when I got the outline, I looked at my life, and I'm like, damn, bro, you've been through some shit.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to tell it to your friends, here and there, but when you actually write it out and you see your outline of your life and what you've gone through, not just from a personal but from a professional standpoint, you realize, man, this is some shit. So I started writing, and once I started writing, I couldn't stop.
Wow.
Like we talking about just being on stage like therapy.
Yeah.
Anybody call me up, what you doing, writing? That's how I got close with Cynthia. Because when we first met, 2018, she said, what you doing? I'm like, I'm writing this book. She said, read something to me. And I started reading it to her, and it just made us closer.
Oh, wow.
Because she felt like she knew me, you know what I mean? And all that type of stuff like that. So when I writing, I wrote it out, and once again, go back to it, I wrote it, and it was a manuscript, and I wrote like 300 pages.
Oh, wow.
300 pages when it was all said and done. I said, I'm not putting this out because it's too embarrassing. I've revealed too much. This could fuck up my career, and I just don't think anybody wants to read this or whatever. And I gave it to a friend of mine named Ian Smith, Dr. Ian Smith, who's a...
Okay, I know who that is.
You know who it is. He's written like 20 books. And Ian read it, and Ian said, nah, bro, you got to put this out.
Oh, wow.
You got to put this book out. Not only because it's therapy, but I also talk about the shit that I've done that's really embarrassing, but what I learned through it all. And how I was taught a certain way, but this is fucked up, and what was I thinking at this time. So it's a self-help book in a sense. Not just my memoir talking about my life, but why I went through all that. So when you talk about therapy, man, that was my first form of therapy that I've ever gone through. Dealing with my best friend being killed, from my mom being abused, me pulling a gun, seeing my mom stabbed, left for dead.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Finding out my dad was a hitman, knowing that he had killed somebody before, whatever, when I was overseas in the military. All the shit I went through when I was at ESPN, the shit I went through when I was working in Dallas, working for Dale Hansen at FAA, all that shit, man. When I wrote it all out, put it out there, it's like, this is my first form of therapy. Now, I always say that therapy was the surgery that I needed. It's surgery. When you go through surgery, it's one thing, but after the surgery, you have a rehab process.
Right.
Got to heal.
You got to heal. So you start the healing, but in order to heal, when I tore my Achilles twice, that heals, but you still got to go through rehab.
Right.
And my rehab is the therapy that I go to all the time now. It's like I go and see a therapist.
Okay.
Just to talk
You
about
are in therapy. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely in therapy, man. I see that. I don't go to her every week like I used to, but I see her once every 3 weeks, and if I need a session, just call her up.
I've never been to therapy, and we have a therapist coming on the show in a couple of weeks. What's the thing that makes a person just say, like, I need therapy, or is it just you need somebody to talk to? What is it more so you feel like you need somebody to talk to, or you feel like you need help, or
So just like you said, everybody that you said you should try stand-up comedy. You should try therapy.
Really?
You black. You've been through some trauma, bro.
Oh, bro, listen, I'm listening to your story. I've seen with my own two eyes people shot dead
In front of you.
Look, and I'm like, I haven't been to war. This is some shit I saw in my neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
it's
should
traumatic.
not have to see war-like things in your neighborhood.
Yes.
And I've
Especially
seen
not
it
growing up.
on occasion.
Yes.
But I just, it's
But,
just
where
we grew up was like, this is our reality.
And that's how we're taught. That is the issue with us as black people sometimes. Like, that's just our reality. That's just the way it is.
Right.
We're so strong. We're so, we overcome so much, man, because we just continue to persevere that we've lived with it and said, you know what? That's just our lives.
It's like our badge of honor
just
that we
our
don't
badge,
have to wear anymore.
So we suppress.
Right.
So we know how to suppress all this trauma that's inside of you, but you don't realize this trauma is affecting you.
Right.
This trauma is giving you high blood pressure,
Right.
raising your cholesterol, this trauma is leading to toxic masculinity in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? You can put up with a lot of stuff, but then all of a sudden you explode. You don't even know what the fuck you're exploding for. It's because the shit is coming out. So when the trauma of when I was tearing up, when I was crying and stuff and didn't realize it was all that trauma and all that sadness and all that depression that was trying to come out of me. It was like a pressure cooker. And until I released it, it was going to stay inside of me. I tell everybody, had I not written that book, and I swear to God, I feel this way to this very day, had I not written this book, I would not be sitting here with you right now. I'd be dead.
Wow.
I'd be dead. I swear that on my life. I mean that with every ounce. I know I would not have survived.
And isn't it interesting that you told your agent about it and they was like, nah.
Don't do it.
They don't get us.
They don't get it.
They don't get us, man. So that's what I'm saying. So sometimes you got to do things on your own. Like no matter what your agent, and they're doing their jobs. They're looking. We want to make money. Obviously,
right.
They want to make money. They want to do
That's what they didn't see money in it. They didn't see the
or they can see that this might not be good for your image and all that stuff like that. But despite all that, I put that out. And when I put it out, obviously there's some pushback. Even being on that show, on that reality show, obviously the book was coming out when I was on that reality show, and I put it out. And I told you the reasons I wrote it. I talked about my indiscretions. I talked about cheating. I talked about all that stuff that I've done in the past to my exes and all that stuff. I'm not proud of that, but I put it out there because the reason why I said it was like that self-help. I'm writing this book. I'm putting it out there. I'm telling you why I'm writing it. I'm writing it not to brag about how many bitches I fucked and all that and how much I cheated and all that stuff. Who's fucking happy about that? Who would snitch on themselves, right? I did that to tell people, young kids, hey, man, when I was growing up, this is what I was taught. The more bitches you got, the more of a man you are. Man, I lost my virginity when I was 14 years old, and I didn't want to lose my virginity. I lost my virginity when I was 14 years old because it was a girl in the neighborhood who was older who wanted to fuck me. And I wouldn't fuck her. And all the neighborhood kids called me.
Yeah.
Man.
He's scared.
You scared of pussy.
Peer
Blah,
pressure.
blah, peer pressure, man. You a girl, but they ain't call you girls. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't doing this, or you must like men and all that shit. So it's peer pressure.
Right.
And that's look, I was 14 at the time. And I'm not making an excuse for it, but I'm saying that's the way it is in a lot of neighborhoods. And you don't even realize that. So growing up, my dad told me one time, it's like, I remember the first time with even more sexuality when I was 9 or 10 years old. This guy, I had on some shorts, and this guy came over and started rubbing my legs.
Oh yeah, that was in the excerpt. I read that part. I was like, "Where's this going?"
You saw that? A grown man comes over. He has me in the shot house. He has me in the shot house. You know what the shot house is.
Little son.
You know well.
I read that shit in the
research.
Little son dead now.
Rest in peace, little son. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
But he didn't mean no harm. Little son was a nice guy. And he's like, man, Mike, you got some nice legs. You got like girl legs, right? Oh. So I'm 9 to 10 years old. I don't know no different. I'm like, yeah, damn, thank you, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Thank you, nigga. Shit, thank you, nigga. Well, I moisturize, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no ashy knees and shit, you know what I'm saying? I ain't know no better. So my dad come said, "Boy, what you doing? Don't let that man touch you on your legs."
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, "Get that man off you." So of course I'm doing what my dad tells me to do. Yeah, get off me. What you doing, right? So I realized that. 5 minutes later, another woman comes up. Her name was, remember her name?
Muck. Yeah.
Muck.
No, why? I was gonna ask you, why did they call it that?
Muck. Well, that's her nickname. Her real name was Tracy.
Right.
Rest in peace, Tracy.
This has to be Alabama.
This is Alabama.
Because Muck is definitely below the Mason-Dixon line.
Like, I was thinking that was a sound effect that was close to the action.
Muck.
Yeah, there's a sound effect. Yeah. She
Maybe.
done that too. No, Tracy was cool. So Tracy comes over. She sees legs. She's like, yeah, Mike does have some real nice legs. And she grabbed me and she like, nigga, I'm being sexually assaulted by grown people. Right?
The Me Too movement in a teenager.
I'm thinking, if it applied to little son, it must apply to her. So I push her. No, get off my legs.
Your dad like, what's wrong with you?
And my dad like, what's wrong with you?
You're supposed to let the lady.
If it's a woman that wants to touch you, you got to let her do it.
Oh,
let a woman do anything she wants to. I'm in that mindset. I'm 19 years old, bro, and I'm like, damn. Yeah. And so anytime that would come up, it would be something like, even when I lost my virginity when I was 14 years old, that came in my mind too.
Right.
Even though I didn't want to do something, that was part of it.
Right, with dad.
And believe me now, like my dad, because my dad, who's my stepdad, he grew up in a space, and rest in peace to him as well. He grew up in a space where he didn't know. He wasn't taught the right way. So what I'm saying is, when I wrote the book, a lot of us have been taught a certain way of how to be a man, so-called man, and we've been taught the wrong way, so it's time to reprogram the future generations.
Now, was it taught, or do you think that's what you were learning? You weren't, guided the right way Because I think we use that term. Like, I was taught that. No, you learned that.
I learned that.
No,
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit of both, Fox.
It is both, but something like
I
that.
think, especially with black people, like what you said earlier, how we just passed the trauma down. It's like that's the hit.
Yeah.
It's like black people are so set in their ways when it comes to certain things. We think if our grandparents did it,
Yeah, it's okay for
and
us.
our parents did it, then that's what we doing.
Right.
Not knowing that if our grandparents did it wrong, and our parents did it wrong, we're gonna continue to do it wrong.
Right.
It has to be somewhere along that line where it's like, okay, wait, we got to stop this. From everything. I'm talking about from our diets and everything.
Oh,
we
yeah,
still eat
definitely.
slave food.
Yeah.
We still eat slave food.
You
If
eat slave
try to
food.
tell-
I don't
if you
eat that
try- No,
shit.
you know I don't. If you try to tell a black person, and you see me on stage say this a
Yeah.
couple times, like, we got to change our diets. And
Yeah.
people in the room, you change your diet. Like, yo,
You ain't eat
you
shit
ready to
to me.
argue
Yeah.
in a comedy club because I'm saying we shouldn't eat certain things.
Right.
Because it's been passed down. And that's what we think. If they did it and they did it and we got it now, that's what it is.
That's an
and there
actual
is no
cuisine. Awful. Because this is awful to eat this. Hearts and pancreas.
Listen, all they had to do was sustain the slaves. They didn't have to nourish them.
Right.
Yeah,
They had to just keep them alive to work.
Yeah.
So there was no like give them this because it's good for them. It was just give them this pig intestine.
Yeah.
Because
Pig's
it'll
asshole.
keep them alive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they can work.
Y'all scraps, man.
Yeah. But like I say, what I say, but black women are so magical that they took that. Don't eat that yet. Give it here. Let me put a little seasoning on it. Let me get the smell out.
Yep.
Fry it up. Try that. Boom. Right.
We do that with
It
everything.
still
Right.
tasted
We
like
find a way
shit.
out of everything that is meant to be traumatizing.
We
us.
magic, man.
We do
Yeah.
it to make it edible.
We magic
Everything.
with everything.
Not just food.
To make
But
it
Everything.
palatable. Make it,
to
yeah,
make
right.
it palatable.
Right,
Yep,
right.
yep,
Everything.
Yep. That's what we do, man. But
Yeah.
this time, sometimes, but when you ask me about therapy, when you go into therapy, you realize, man, shit, that ain't right.
Right.
That some of this shit ain't right, and it tells you the why or why
Right.
it's not right. And you look back and you're like, okay, well, this is how I can fix it moving forward.
Right.
When you move forward, man, I'm telling you, bro, you feel so much more clear. Being in this business, you guys know that you guys have boundaries anyway. You don't let certain people in anyway, whatever. But you start seeing people a little bit more clear, man. You see what's toxic for you. You see what's not right for you. You see the shit you've done wrong. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you be looking at other people and saying they fucked up when you've been fucked up the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So it makes you change your ways, man. And I tell women all the time, like, especially when it comes to men, because we as men, we do 90% of the shit that we do in our lives for who?
Women.
For women.
Right.
We don't do that. You don't get your hair cut for me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't want them motherfucking
Hey.
kids. You'll get them kids say, yeah, I got the new fresh shit because you know what? Yeah, you ain't got them motherfuckers, but these hoes gonna love these
They gonna
kids.
see this.
You know what I'm
the
saying?
hoes
They
gonna love
gonna see that it match with the top, and they gonna be like, "Look at you."
It's all gonna come back. The car we drive,
Yes.
how much money we have, and everything. We do it for the gratification of women. So when women accept it, we want it more. When a woman doesn't accept it, if a woman looks at you and says you're weak because you cried or you went to therapy or whatever, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna close that shit up.
Right.
You ain't gonna want to go. But if they say, hey, we like that, and I ain't saying there's a difference between crying and being a bitch. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right. Yeah,
I always
that's
try
good.
to tell that, man. But
Right.
it's okay to let some shit out every
Right.
now and then if you feel that way. But when a woman says that, man, you want to go out there and do it, man, a little bit more. And believe me, when a woman doesn't do it, and I tell women this all the time, if y'all stop allowing men to be themselves and get the therapy and get the help they need, guess what happens?
They're better for you.
He compresses that shit, and then all of a sudden, what did I tell you that shit becomes? Toxic masculinity. And they don't want that shit either.
Right.
They don't want that shit either. So either help this man become a better man or put up with this shit. Because even the cheating I did, once again, I make no excuses for anything I've done in my life, man. It was part of how I grew up, what I was taught.
Right.
You know, whatever you want to say or whatever and stuff like that. I make no excuses. I take accountability and responsibility, and I take the blame for everything I've done. But I realized one of the reasons why I was cheating is because that was part of things that made me feel healthy or happy. Instead of going to cocaine, instead of going to alcohol,
Right.
if I felt bad, I went to hoes.
That's how you self-medicate.
Yeah, I self-medicate. When people, I'm serious. It
Take
ain't
your
even a
whole
joke.
pill.
It ain't even a joke.
Right.
I'm like, I always knew that women like me. I ain't
Right.
saying I'm God's gift or anything like that, but I always knew
That would be me.
Yeah, that would be you. I always knew that if I wanted to feel better about myself, a woman's gonna make me feel better.
Look, I want to make 2 points, but I got 2 points because I don't want to forget them. So what you said about therapy, I totally get what you're saying, And as you're saying it, I'm listening to you, and I'm like, well, that's what stand-up is for me. Stand-up for me is there's issues going on in my life, there's problems, and when I'm in those hotel rooms, sitting in those 5-star hotel rooms, and I'm like, in my feelings, for me, it's how can I write this out and get it to the stage.
But you got that. So and it's a form.
Right.
You can write a journal.
That's one form. That's one form, but everything can't be.
Yeah.
I can't get everything
to have to express.
Right.
You have to let it out. That's all I'm saying. Therapy is letting it out to somewhere. Even if you feel comfortable sharing it with the crowd, you feel like that's a comfortable space.
So that's one point I wanted to make. That's like what therapy for me right now is comedy. I probably should go sit and talk to somebody and see if I could go further with it. But for right now, my therapy is putting that on stage. Like, how can we write this out and make it funny? You know what I'm saying? And turn it into a smile for somebody else. Yeah. And you said it makes you look at people differently. You see things you were doing wrong, things you were fucking up. Know what that was for me? When I had a kid.
Ooh.
When Charleston was born, it made me look at the entire world differently. I look at my friendships differently now. I look at the women from the past. I look at the things I want to do in the future. Finances, everything changed when that kid was born.
Yeah.
And that's what that did for me. Like that same idea you said about looking at people differently. When Charleston was born, the whole world changed for me.
Bro, I've seen, like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to ask you another thing about therapy because I considered it, but I didn't know how to, and this is for myself. How do I find one in the experience that you had finding a therapist? I know you just didn't go, hey, I'm here for therapy. I mean, you know, for being a black man living in this country, in this nation, and we go in therapy, we can't just go to anybody.
Right.
You know,
that's
so,
a black man in any regard in this country.
Yeah.
So you got to find a safe space, comfortable. You know, even if your therapist is, you can go to therapy with your pastor. You can go to therapy with, like you said, your stand-up part of your therapy. You're writing a journal and stuff like that. But in order to find one, sometimes they got websites. You know, they got.
So you search it out.
Because I always believe that if whatever your ethnicity is, you should go to somebody who is your ethnicity. So if you black, you should go see a black person.
In every regard?
In therapy.
Okay.
Because who understands?
Right. In every, I want a black dentist, black doctor, black Uber driver,
a black man or a black woman.
I do, but you know, I preferably just somebody who gets you.
Okay,
and
somebody
you,
who gets you.
Sometimes you might have to do 2 or 3. So you might work with one. Okay, they don't like that methods. Let me try somebody else.
Is that like the protocol? Like people do that all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they don't, they understand. Hey, man, it might not work. You know, hey, I'm gonna go try somebody else. And then somebody could. I got a good therapist now. The first time I got into therapy was with an Indian lady, and she was cool because she just listened.
Okay.
She just listened. I just sometimes needed that outlet to just
Right.
And then after a while, I'm like, okay, I'm done talking. Now I need some things to help me to move forward.
I need your feedback.
And your feedback. And I was like, okay, well, she ain't really giving me the feedback that I need because I don't think she gets me and gets my life.
Right.
So I went to a black therapist, and this black, she don't put no shit. She'll call me on my bullshit. She's just like one of them black women or whatever.
Nice.
And you need somebody that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
That's anything in life with your friends or whatever. So yeah, you can go online, man. You can go do a search. I can give you a link where you can just find a link to all the black therapists here in the LA area, and it's like a lot of them here. It ain't enough, but it's a lot.
Will they take my Kaiser card?
I said on stage once. I said on stage once that black people are starting to go to therapy now. You know why? Because grandmothers are dying. Because that used to be your therapist back in the day.
Man,
like
that
when
is
your
a
grandmother
dope
passed,
premise.
it's like, yo, that's your therapist right there. Remember back in the day, your grandmother was everything in the
Old
world.
people in general, and the ones that have good sense.
Right.
Because, you know, there's a lot of old fools out there.
They'll give you a saying that will encompass it. Man, listen. If a fish gonna swim backwards, you got, and it's up to you to figure it out. But if you figure it out, that is the answer to all your problems.
It doesn't hit then. It hits like 20 years later.
Yeah.
Because people say, like, respect your elders. I say, I respect my elders, but I just don't respect old fools. Because they fools for a reason. You don't listen to them.
Wrong, you ain't going to have them pass it along. Once again, a lot of the shit that we learned came down from some grandparents, moms, because they were taught wrong.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against them. I respect them all, but sometimes I look at my mom, and I love my mom to death. Some of the things that my mom said, I'm like, nah, you don't get it. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, this is new, because this is the way. But my mom's in her 70s. And a lot of times she ain't gonna change her ways. But then I got
nobody black 70 is changing anything.
But then I convinced her to go to therapy, because I told her, I said, man, I got to a point where if you are, and once again, she gonna watch everything I do. She watches.
Hey, mom.
Yeah.
Hey, mama.
I told her, told my daughters, everybody. I'm like, I'm at a point in my life where I don't owe shit to nobody. Like, I'm serious, man. My self-health and my preservation is worth more than everything. I tell people all the time, I said, self-preservation is not being selfish. It makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you, because you have to protect your energy. You are responsible for your happiness.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, bro. You don't even know,
nobody
bro.
can bring you. They can add to your
You
happiness.
don't even know, bro.
Or they cannot ruin it.
Or they cannot.
But even that's a choice.
Even
That's a
if
choice.
you allow them to.
If you allow them, yeah,
you
that's
allow-
the choice.
I will let you into my life, and you can add to the joy that I already have, because I don't need you to bring me joy. But you got to add to that joy in a sense. If you try and work with me and make me work at a deficit, and you start pulling me down, and I feel drained every time I'm around you.
gotta be away.
Guess what? I got to set
yes,
the boundaries.
yes,
So I
yes,
told
yes.
my daughters, I told anybody that's around me, I said, when my daughters turn 18, I said, I don't owe you shit. I'm here for you, and I'll always be here for you, but I don't owe you a goddamn thing.
Right.
So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't owe anybody a goddamn
I used to always,
Yeah.
not even like, I'm talking about years ago, I used to always say that to my brothers, my younger brothers especially. Nobody in this world owes you anything. People do because they want to do.
Thank you.
They do because it's the right thing to do, but they don't have to. And I was like, it was an incident where my little brother had loaned the guy some money. Guy was ducking him, didn't want to pay him back, and clearly it was like he wasn't trying to pay my brother back. And I'm like, yeah, I could hurt him if you want me to, but like, he don't have to pay you back, bro.
Yeah.
You thinking because you did the right thing, he has to do the right thing. Nobody owes you anything.
Right.
People do because they want to do. They do because they know it's the right thing to do, but they don't have to do it.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't.
And I'm like, and that's in every regard. Your parents don't have to do anything for you. They do it because it's the parental thing to do and it's the proper thing to do. But they don't owe you anything. Nobody owes anybody anything.
Yeah, don't walk around entitled, man. I hate entitled people, bro.
Yeah. Entitlement is the devil, man.
Entitlement is the devil.
Especially in this business, because you work with people and they're like, oh, well,
man.
if he got it,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So, question: you talked about your indiscretions and cheating. Question: what is cheating really?
Well, cheating, I think, depends on your relationship. So
Okay.
I feel like cheating is if you're with your woman or your woman's with a man, would you approve of your woman doing the same thing that you're doing?
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, that is a good
That's
one.
a good one.
So that you got to have a committed relationship. There's something established, right?
Committed relationship, and it's just like so. Like
No, that's good. That's a good one. It has to be established.
An established relationship.
It has to
Be
be an established
established.
relationship. You guys have to talk about it. You have to ask these things. What do you consider cheating? What is it? Because some women can consider, like, I'm in somebody's Instagram and I put a heart because I put hearts in prayer hands.
That's that's
you don't wanna go
emotional
there with me,
cheating.
Mike. Mike Hill,
That's
you don't wanna go there with me.
emotional. That's emotional.
You don't want to go there with me.
cheating.
Yep.
Chick sent me a naked picture, naked butt ass.
Where is it? Let me see it.
Look here, boom, all the way down, butt ass, touched the puss, grabbed the titty, came
Yeah.
back up,
And sent it
I
to
put smiley face.
Smiley face.
I didn't put where are you, so number smiley face. No, I didn't put smiley. I put like the smiley face with the tongue out, like the like the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like whoop,
Why you even engage?
You
Bruh.
found an emoji. You cheated by acknowledgement.
bruh.
You cheated by
I was
validation.
every dog. I was a Shih Tzu to a fucking Great Dane. I was a Chihuahua. I was a fucking Pit Bull. I was every dog there was.
She must have looked good.
Well, here-
Because if she was ugly, then like she would have laughed with you.
But
Here-
nothing, no
What a
contact, never,
hypocrite if
ever,
she was
never,
ugly.
nothing else other than that.
Yep.
Just in my DM, like, oh, whoa, okay, whoa.
So let's flip it. Let's flip it. And now you my boy. I'm loyal to you. Let's flip it. She receives a man, fine, dick pic.
You right.
hanging.
You right. You
She
right.
sends
No, you get it. You right.
Bye-bye, winky face. and
Therapy's
shit like
done. Therapy is over.
Well,
I'm just saying.
You got it.
So,
You got it. You
This,
got it.
this is what I say.
I'm a work
to
in
that.
progress,
Okay,
Mike.
I know.
I'm a work in
Okay.
progress.
I think every man is entitled to his own small portion of hypocrisy in that. Because, see, it's like certain things, I'll do it, but it's definitely not okay for you to do it.
Right.
Okay. Men and women, there's different rules.
Give me an example.
What you just said. You can't be liking dick pics. Now, if I just happen to send what you just did, like, you know, like that, I acknowledged it. I cannot be
Plus
looked
it's
at
me.
Yeah.
Plus it's me.
You're a gentleman.
it's
You're
me.
acknowledging the pussy.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm just acknowledging you because you're trying to get my attention. Now, if a dude sends a picture and you know, have some feeling on the inside, you are a cold-hearted, and you are a piece of shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
The views of Joe Fox are not
No,
those of
hold on a
Live
second.
in the Green Room, Tony Rock, Trey Elliott, or Mike Hill.
You are unfaithful. You are emotionally promiscuous. That's what I say.
Wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, what's okay for me to do, you cannot do it because you are my. And see, something that you said on your podcast with Eunice. Someone said that, I think she was saying that women are the prize. She said, okay, see, we need to stop saying that if we don't go all the way. Don't go halfway across the street with these women. If you're watching, if you want to be the prize, then you are to be possessed. Because you can't be a prize and say, no, a man don't owe me, but you're the prize. Okay, someone competed for you, right? Ooh. And that's another thing. If you're gonna be the prize, that means people are competing for you. That means you are to be possessed because you have been won.
Held up at the end.
Held up. This is mine. Okay, but you can't be the prize.
That's deep, right?
And not say and not say you are his or whatever. Like that you are owned. Okay. You are a prized possession.
I think owned is a little hard.
I own this medal. I won it. It's mine. Whose medal is this?
Send your comments to Joe Fox.
Okay,
Live from the Green Room.
Now I'm not saying that you are a possession to be owned and women are property. I'm just saying, think about what you're saying. I'm the prize. It's cute to say that, but when you are saying other things that go against that, then now I'm thinking you're delusional.
Okay,
thinking.
so you say
This y'all T split right here.
So you saying wait? So
I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble.
So you
I
saying,
don't give a damn.
So you saying when you say that, but then your actions are in contrast?
Yes.
Like I'm the prize, but then nobody can tell me what to do. I'm the prize, but
well, no. Tell me what to do. Don't no man own me.
Right.
And then you can't have the philosophy of the woman is the prize.
Or is she saying I'm the prize, and that's why you put the ring on it to possess the prize?
Well, I didn't get that far in the analysis. No, okay, but if you're gonna say that, then act accordingly. You can't have this. You can't have it both ways. In my mind, and this is just me talking, I don't understand that type of thinking. So it's the man. The man is the prize. The woman is the prize. Is someone competing for you?
I think we are prizes to each other.
Yeah, you're prizes to each other, okay? Because if you want to go scriptural, okay, you belong to one another, okay? Now, you believe whatever you want to believe, and you can believe, you can understand however you want to understand it, but people often leave out certain things to fit their own
absolutely.
So when she said that triggered me because I had those thoughts.
Do you see my face?
Yeah.
You see my face? Because I'm like, okay, you can be the prize, but like you said,
you were like, what?
We're both prizes.
Yeah.
Why can't I be?
I'm the prize too.
It's not either or. Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you, man. I think women sometimes, and I ain't gonna jump on that because they be coming for me anyway.
Oh yes.
Like
Put it on me. I don't give a damn. I tell them right to their face.
Sometimes women will say things. Saying it, put it out
I'm
there.
toxic. I'm
where
toxic.
They mean it, but
No, I'm not.
the full extent of the meaning doesn't apply to everything that they're saying. Like you said, prize.
Yeah.
Another thing they always say is like, "Oh, I'm old-fashioned." You can be old-fashioned when it benefits you. You old-fashioned. You want the man to open the car door for you.
Yeah.
You want the man to pay for everything.
Yeah.
You want the man to be the man, take out the trash and whatever and all this stuff. If you're old-fashioned, when I get my ass home, the bath water should be run. When I get home, I want the roll. I want to be able to sit in my chair.
Yeah.
You cook my food. The kitchen is clean.
Because that's old-fashioned.
The kids are so.
A home cooked meal is a hot meal too much to ask for.
Meal,
Is some breakfast too much to ask?
See,
I haven't had a hot breakfast, man.
A hot breakfast.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't that old fashioned?
Old fashioned is a drink.
No, but isn't that old
It's a
fashioned?
cocktail.
That's old fashioned.
Old fashioned for women. It means the men did the manual labor,
yes,
and the women did the old fashioned shit. You was in the kitchen, and I'm not saying that's where you need to be, ladies. Let's just get that straight. But if you say you're old fashioned, you cannot be old fashioned in a sense in where it just only benefits you.
Right.
True, and I also think that
That's a good point, Mike.
Those type of sentiments, old fashioned, I'm traditional. I think that goes all out the window when you're dealing with your person. What's agreeable to them. Okay, be agreeable. Like the word submit and submissive, which is the most horrible word women are talking about on these podcasts and panels. That's what the world has come to now. Podcasts and panels, and ain't no man this and that, hand constantly like this. It's like, I said, are you selling ice cream on the corner? Give her one of them ice cream carts. They're selling corn. I'm like, damn. It's like that word is so misunderstood. Even you believe whatever you want to believe. Scripture again, it says you're supposed to submit to one another. You don't hear man talking about, I ain't submitting to no woman. You don't hear us talking like that. We don't think like that.
Nah, you hear men say that. You hear men say like, no chick can tell me what to do. And
okay.
I'm my own man. That's
okay. The word itself is problematic. Cause that's all I'm saying. But yeah, ain't no woman gonna tell me what to do. That's someone who's tired of their mom. So tired of their mom. So just stay in this pocket right quick. I did have this question. I said, what is cheating really? You kind of went into it. So if you don't already know, I've been working on this material talking about side chicks because in the end of my marriage, that question always comes up. Did you cheat on her? And I'm like, I don't like the word cheat.
Okay.
Like, what is that? So to me, it's cheating if you lie.
Okay.
Now it doesn't make the truth the truth hurts. I was with her, but I never had that.
Is a lie not disclosure?
If you disclose it before, during, and after, it is not cheating.
So
I don't like the word.
Knows that you out with another woman, then it's not cheating. I agree with that. That's open relationship.
It's an open relationship, or she doesn't approve, she doesn't agree, and that's.
But an open relationship has to be agreed upon, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
But if you step out on a committed relationship, is it cheating if you tell the truth?
What, after you get caught?
No. It ain't nothing caught or, hey, I'm about to do it. I said before, during, after.
You going out telling, hey, we're going to be in Dallas. Them hoes going to be popping. I know I love you, girl. Mwah. But I'm going to be fucking on New Year's Eve. So is that what you're talking about right there?
Well, there's a thing called tact. Okay, you shouldn't say it like that.
Hey,
I'm gonna be on these hoes. I'm gonna holler at you, baby. I'll be back when I get back. All right?
Yeah, but at least you're disclosing that, hey, there's a possibility that I might be in some draws that ain't yours.
Wait, are you speaking from experience? Is that your experience that you was you were telling her that, hey, I might be, I might not be.
There's two sides to that.
In the hotel by myself today.
There's two sides to that. One is, I'm a little upset that I didn't explore that.
You didn't explore it.
I didn't do that. I didn't do it. It's okay. There's been some close moments, but I'm like, man, I should not be here. My intent was not to be around in a situation, with other women when I know I was in a committed relationship.
Well, for that, Joe Fox, I apologize.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's why I say,
Joe,
okay. See, let me tell you something, man. Come on, man. You are a chick magnet, and you know this. So I've been touring with this man for about 15 years.
Why do you think I want to go on tour with you?
Okay.
You don't think I got into this stand-up thing? I'm like, I want to go with Tony Rock and Joe Feezy.
Trust and believe there was conversations that I had to be like, man, look, this is what we do. This is what we do. I'm being faithful. Faithful means you're not even out there.
But look, when I was being faithful, she didn't believe it.
Okay, and I think women sometimes have the wrong idea of our the level of commitment, the things that they're just not going to believe. But that's one side of it. The other side is, I'm not cheating. I'm not lying. Like who is this on your phone? I tell you who it is. I'm gonna be with this person over here. The fact that we are in the vicinity and she's not there, it's cheating. Even if she she knows about it or she doesn't know about it. So when I explore this, that's another question I was going to ask. like I never got a side chick, but I think it would have helped if I did, because we all have been through this. It's a very sensitive thing, but if it's not cheating, if it's approved, hey, this I know my man, this is the way he is, and I go through a whole philosophy of this, and I get in trouble. Like you seen it.
So you're getting in trouble even though you're telling her what your lifestyle is and who you are and all that type of stuff?
Let me rephrase. I get in trouble with the audience when I'm expressing this point of view.
No, but can I tell you something, man?
Not
like,
trouble, but
here's
it's
the
like
thing.
it's
like,
no one's
so
going.
As somebody, what I've learned is that people can yell and scream at you. A lot of women, a lot of men screaming like you're a cheater, you're doing all this type of stuff like that. Yes, I've done that. I've been there. I was in a committed relationship, and I think 80-90% of the people I know kind of been there before. To be honest with you, I'm not
80 and 99% of the people.
on anybody. And I think
You
once
say no,
again,
you-
going back to that term I talked about, the selective outrage.
Yeah.
People will vilify me for some shit I did years ago. I ain't
Vilify. That's a good word,
I
boy.
did not cheat in my last relationship, not at all. I love my girl. It just didn't work out. But automatically, because I have that past, they automatically think that I am a cheater, right?
Yeah,
so
once a cheater,
women will
always a
come
cheater.
at me. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I always say that. A lot of women out there that will call you a cheater, and like I said, it's a good question. What is cheating? If you're a side chick, have you ever cheated? Are you a cheater? And when you say that, you talking about that phrase, a hit dog will holler? They will holler. I wasn't in a relationship. That don't make me a cheater. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but you were a cause of it. Without you there is
participated in
no
it.
cheating. I had this discussion on our podcast yesterday. It's like, okay, like, well, as I said, women are always asking, why do men cheat? And there are various reasons. And really, y'all don't want to know the answer to why we cheat or why women cheat. Nobody wants to know the answer because there's never an excuse for it. Maybe the question should be, how do you do more to prevent men from cheating or women from cheating?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's easy. Murder.
The views of Joe Fox are not those of Live in the Green Room, Tony Rock, Trey Elliott, or Mike Hill.
You have to unalive a nigga to
Outside,
stop him.
or a woman. As I go back because women cheat too. Now, so
Okay, but
so
Right.
women
cheat too.
They do, but
they do it better.
They be at Pilates.
They do it better.
Yeah.
It's
Well, Chrissy said, I ain't even, Pilates ain't even a real thing.
They stretching in other ways,
But
they don't want the machines.
it's a thing that we have to deal with in these day and age. There's different levels, different degrees. It's what that person considers it to be. If you're in a committed relationship and you're in your open communication and you understand each other, don't do this, don't do that. How about you choose right and you don't give someone a reason to even consider something like that because you're submitting to one another. You're both the prize and you're both maintaining each other as far as being in a relationship with a man and a woman. I'm specifically talking about that. I'm pretty sure this works some of the ways in other scenarios, but I'm talking about men and women. But the fact that we are in these relationships and marriages and we come in and out, we have to deal with how we understand relationships with that person and not have a preconceived notion. But like we just said, once a cheater, always a cheater. A cheater might have found the right woman, and this is the one right here.
Yeah,
she has 65% of what I need in a woman, which is the majority, and then the other,
65, goddamn. I'm not even passing on the Scantron.
the other 35% I can do without.
Hilarious.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
All I need is peace and pussy, bro. That's the
Hey, wait. So wait, both of you guys. This is for both of you.
Okay.
Do you guys think that the dynamic is different
Yeah.
if it's a celebrity? And why? What by that I mean
I
this.
was about to get into
I'm
that.
talking about me. I'm going to speak about myself. Okay. So I'm on the road, 52 weeks in a year. Realistically, I'm on the road
42.
47 weeks out of 52. Right. Every city I've been to already. So I have friendships. I have past relationships. I have homies and I got homeboys, homegirls in those cities. I land, I'm here. It's a party for them for the weekend because I'm there.
Right.
So this is like they didn't get to go out they don't go out all year until I'm there.
Yeah.
They don't party all year, go to dinners. So when I come, it's like turn up weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the festival when I get there. So is it a different dynamic when it's not saying me, but when it's someone like me?
Yeah.
Should that person's woman, not me, the person like me, should their woman be more understanding that there's gonna be women around? There's gonna be parties, there's gonna be hotels, there's gonna be pictures and kisses on the cheek. And I was dating a young lady who I was crazy about. I took a picture with a girl. It was her birthday. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was her birthday. She was sitting on, like, you know, in the club, everybody sits up on the, they sit up here. So I leaned back like this, and I had my head like on her butt, and was like this, like, for her birthday. And she posted it. And look, I swear on Brooklyn, New York, no phone numbers were exchanged. No bodily fluids were exchanged. Nothing. Neither one of us was naked in a room. Nothing. I just did that because she had a big butt. And I was like this on her butt, like, and took the picture. And I got a text the next day or in a phone call that was like, I can't trust you on the road. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And she was ghost.
You know what? That means your girl was a fucking good ass detective. Because obviously, if this woman that she does not know, probably does not follow,
found it.
She found
it.
But
look, you could go on social media and type my name in and pictures just pop up. I didn't even realize that.
See, that's still,
you can put hashtag Tony Rock and mad pictures pop up.
That's being a detective.
Right.
That was the insecurity in the beginning because unless you posted that picture, she had no reason or no business to even see that picture.
Yes.
And you're right. I do believe, as somebody who is in the industry, public figures or whatever.
No, but my question. Sorry to cut you off. My question is two-part. Should the woman be more understanding if the man is in the public eye,
or the woman,
or vice versa? And is it a different dynamic? Like, because they are.
Absolutely.
The short answer is yes. The short answer is yes, and also you were about to talk about social media. Someone said, tagging and hashtagging and social media. Your woman found it. Okay,
she found it.
But that has nothing to do. Yeah, that has nothing to do with your page. You didn't post it.
I did not post it.
So she was looking for it.
What to piggyback on that? As far as social media, should the person you're in a committed relationship have access to your page? Like, should you block them or should you not follow them?
No, you blocking, you doing something.
Okay.
You gotta block, you doing something.
Okay, don't follow. How about that?
You gotta block, you doing something. Come on, Fox. If you blocking your wife.
I admit.
Come on, bro.
I'm a special case. So
they're gonna make up a page, bro.
Okay,
so you gonna block your girl.
I know
follow.
I know a girl got 2 Instagram pages.
You
got a page. You look at the page. You know, ain't no pictures past like 2018. She got another page. I know she do. I don't know where it is, but I know she do.
That's a horrible way to live, and I'm specifically talking to women who do this, and I know some dudes do it. You shouldn't be doing that. That's for the women to be delusional and paranoid. Okay, you got I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, I don't like the idea of it. This is not being, you said that the other day. I said, damn, I said some cold shit sometimes, man.
Sometimes you ain't even drinking.
Man, but I'm like, really, come on. Why do you have ghost account? Like, why do you have to follow?
That's the stalker account, bro.
Okay, the stalker account. I'm not doing anything.
They got more than one. They got more than one.
She got
trust and believe.
She got a fake Instagram. I know it. I know it is because
people can do whatever they want to do. See, this is why on my social media, first I put nothing but comedy on there, and it's mostly me. But I put ridiculous stuff on there, and it's not personal. So if you want to say something about it, go ahead. I don't care. This is my real life. This is not real. I think Dave Chappelle said that. This is not a real place. Right. It's not a real place, and people are living their lives based on likes and posts and hearts and emojis and statements being made. Some people, they want to express themselves, and some people actually get help by doing that. Those are the genuine people. But the other white noise is it's bullshit.
I think social media has
pulled
the curtain back on how miserable people really are.
Oh yeah,
but and it also is social media is the greatest invention ever made and the worst one ever made.
Exactly.
It's the greatest because obviously there are a lot of things that were getting done in this country now that we would never gotten done.
Right,
Niggas been getting killed in the streets for years.
Right. Yeah.
And now people hear about it as soon as somebody dies in the streets.
They're still not doing anything, but now we're just seeing it. We're seeing it. Yeah.
At least the media's covering it now. So that's the good thing because the word is out. The worst thing is everybody got a fucking opinion. and everybody's gonna make their opinion known. Answer your question.
What I say on stage, everybody, people shouldn't have an opinion. And that's just my opinion.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, but to your point, coming from the relationship I was in before and getting out, when I go on live, I get this question all the time: would you date a regular person? They always say,
I get that all the time too. What's your response? What's your response?
I say, well, first of all, I wouldn't date a regular person. I don't want no regular shit anyway.
No, I always say, what's a regular person?
what's a regular person?
I think I'm a regular person.
Yeah, I think I'm a regular person.
My job isn't regular, but I'm a regular person.
So somebody that's not in the same business as you.
So their meaning is somebody's not a celebrity, somebody's not blah 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 and all that. So
Of course I would.
Yeah, I would. I said regular. I said, but I hope you're extraordinary in some kind of way and not just regular. Just
right.
So I'll make that clear. I said, even if you're a nurse, you're not regular, you're extraordinary.
Right.
Don't ever consider yourself regular. So I'm gonna big you up and all that.
Shout out to the nurses.
So here's the thing, man. And I say this all the time. And I think about it. Nurses.
Shout out. Hey, nurse.
Shout out to the
What's
nurses,
up,
the
girl?
lawyers,
nurses
the
be-
bus drivers that are pretty.
nurses be going.
Rocks here for you, baby. You got the new green sneakers on.
What's up, bank teller? Mr. Rock.
Look at the account. You know what's in it, baby.
Toll booth operators, nurses. No.
I'm driving right past.
That's why they
breathing all
will
that
go
carbon
because
monoxide.
everybody
I
ignores
in my
them.
house getting
You
me
give them
fucking
more
lung
attention.
cancer.
They're like
Christian,
me.
you got cancer.
Wait. I got a question I want to ask. I want to ask Mike Hill. When you said something earlier on, and I was like, I gotta make sure I hold on to that to ask a question. So you said that people are coming at you on your social media because of the reality show. Do you think that your marriage was affected by the fact that you both were in the public eye?
Oh, absolutely.
Because the best relationships are the ones that people don't know nothing about.
Absolutely, man. And that's why I say to this day that the next relationship I'm in, you'll never hear about her. I
say the same.
Never,
Like we here.
I'm never gonna make my relationship public. Like my next girlfriend's nickname is gonna be Ghost. Nigga, it's gonna be Ghost. Seriously, I don't even tell my family.
What do you think was the negative about it?
The negative was, man, because people don't like to see motherfuckers happy, bro.
Oh, so true.
They don't like.
So
They don't like. I will
So
put
true.
shit on our page while y'all posting this and blah blah and all. Like, bitch, like I can. If you want to post your bins and all that, I can post my babe.
Yeah.
I'm giving shout outs, love to my girl, whatever. They just gonna find something wrong. They always gonna find like what's wrong with your picture. Oh, he look all that type of shit. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I ain't never said this before, bro. So I'm gonna tell y'all what was part of the reason why we kind of like shit affected us.
Before you go, y'all married like 2, 3 years?
We was married 2 years. My
2 years.
yeah, my shit was short,
You-
man.
you
Grand
said-
opening, grand closing.
You said on the podcast they send the marriage certificate and the divorce
Yeah, at the same
certificate.
time.
Wait. I want to hear this because you said you've never said this before. I want to hear this.
Yeah. So my marriage so short that I said the ink didn't even dry on the marriage certificate before they sent that shit. Before I got the divorce. They sent the marriage certificate and the divorce decree at the same goddamn time. They said, nigga, we didn't want to waste the stamp. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't want to waste the stamp.
So I ain't never said this before, man, but there was people that lie on social media. And people just automatically believe every fucking thing that's out there, man.
Right.
Some bitch was saying that I was sending dick pics.
To her.
Now, luckily, my ex knows what the fuck my dick look like. But automatically, the shit is out there. You're wondering and shit like that. And people are putting all
They just want to create the
They just want to create.
Yeah.
And all you got to do these days when it comes to these blogs and all that type of stuff like
accuse
that,
a motherfucker.
it's just accuse somebody. And somebody pick it up. And they say we got receipts. And they say it came from this page, man. But like, I didn't even use this motherfucking social media page. Didn't use it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And motherfuckers get hacked all the time. Now, I ain't saying I want them if I got hacked
Right.
like that. All I'm saying is
hacked.
that dick wasn't mine. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
just saying,
It wasn't my
that
dick.
was
You know what I'm saying? I know what my dick look like. Don't know. So, but that comes in, and I'm answering these questions. TMZ's following you around and shit like that. That has an effect
Absolutely.
on, especially from somebody who has a past and all that stuff. So you deal.
That's
with
why
that
they
drama.
they look into it more because of the past.
Man, they deal in your drama, man. They deal with that. You got to deal with that drama. It's tough enough just to be in a relationship to survive. But there was no
Say
reason.
that shit, Mike.
And I ain't, like I said, I ain't fucking around with Cynthia. Ain't nobody can come out and say I fucked somebody, you know, or been with somebody with Cynthia. Nobody can ever say that. You know what I mean? I look in that camera and say that. Come out, I give you $1,000 right now. I give you $100,000. You can say, you can prove that I fucked you. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, when you deal with that stuff all the time, people throwing that out there, and Cynthia, to her credit, strong mind, she didn't let a lot of stuff bother her. But she even admitted, she was like, you know what? When we was going through other shit that was going through. It added to it.
Right.
So the other shit that's personal that I will never reveal to anybody, that was like 98% of the real shit we had. But the other 2 or 3% was all the speculation that could be out there.
Right.
Wondering, is he doing this? What's he doing when I'm not here and all that type
Right.
of stuff like that. So that has an effect on it and pushes you over the top.
Yeah.
And I remember one time she told me, she's like, you know what really pushed me over the top was that shit. And I'm like, motherfucker.
The fake thing.
The fake thing.
Wow.
And what people don't realize is this motherfucker, I didn't even know this person. Somebody was trying to extort me. Somebody was trying to extort me, dog. They said $35,000, we're going to say this is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck.
Just we're gonna say
Wow.
it, no
You
proof,
say
no
it.
nothing.
Yeah, because
Wow.
they know that's all it takes,
Wow.
What was the response to that?
Because they know
Go
they're
ahead.
gonna create,
no,
they're gonna
come-
create pandemonium and a hoopla
They gonna-
that you don't want attached to your relationship. Because
And-
the best relationships are the ones nobody knows nothing about.
Yeah, the best ones are the ones, and then plus, once again, like I said, I put myself in a position because I wrote the book, said all this, admitted to all this stuff in the
Right.
past. So people will automatically just latch on to it. He must have done it.
But look, you know what's crazy? I think that's why people do themselves a disservice by being in a relationship and making it so public.
Yep.
Pictures. And it starts off, yo, goals. Oh, that's relationship goals. But then miserable people are going to creep in
Yep.
and start saying this and that, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like you guys could have had something special quietly.
Yeah.
But if you keep it quiet, to her, it's you're hiding her.
But the problem for me is obviously I couldn't keep it quiet because we was on a reality show.
No, listen, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
with regards to me. So if I don't post you, it's why aren't you posting me? But I know if I do post you, it's bitch. I know a nigga, a chick. She used to fuck with him and his niggas used to come through and do this and and his
And they don't even realize you're protecting them. Cause like I've been
Yeah.
So I've been vilified for quiet and vilified for posting.
Yep.
Before Charleston was born, I remember this vividly. I was in Cleveland at the Improv. I go to a club that night. I'm dancing with a young lady who I've known for years. Never had any sexual contact with her. We dancing. I'm still a man in 2024, because you're gonna see this in 2024. I'm still a man in 2024 that likes women. I know that's not like the norm right now, but I'm still a
That's not
black
cool,
man in
man.
2024 that likes women. So I'm dancing with a young lady who I had a friendship with. Nothing sexual, just we was cool.
Right.
Song come on, she dancing, I'm dancing, and she was voluptuous. So I'm hands on her waist dancing, spinning around, doing my Tony Rock shit. And then I post a picture
That's the thing, by
of
the way.
Charleston, maybe 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, Charleston's born. I post a picture, and it hits the blogs. Tony
Yeah.
Rock posted his baby, and some girl posted, I just saw that motherfucker in Cleveland dancing all up on some chick. Niggas ain't shit.
And that's some shit.
Damn.
What did you see that was illegal?
Right,
what
right,
did
right.
you see that was me not being a great father or a great mate? You didn't see. You saw a man dancing with a woman.
But she
Yeah.
she knows all the
But she
allegations
knows
that's gonna
creating the hoopla and the
Yeah.
bullshit is what gets everybody going.
gonna get the
And then there's other people like, yeah, these niggas ain't shit. You right, bitch. Niggas.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo,
And
all I was doing was dancing with a girl. A dudes like girls still.
yeah, and it was just 2 weeks after you had your son. Now, see, that's what I mean by it's different for women. Women can't do that, and they shouldn't do that. 2 weeks ago, you just had your son, and now you out at the club shaking his ass with a dude. Yeah. That's questionable behavior right there.
stitches ain't
You
out yet.
can't do that.
The umbilical
Men
cord
can
is
do
still-
that. Women cannot. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, you ain't even
You was
healed
looking
up.
for that through line. Huh? He was waiting for that. He was like, somebody gonna say something at some point is gonna make this shit all tie together like a nice bow.
I think if we had a cord coming out of our dick, like they had a cord coming out their pussy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be a different-
you
Yeah, if we had the baby.
agree that being in the limelight.
Bruh, it's tough, man. And like I said, that's why I will keep my relationship from here on out. Like Stephen A. Smith keeps his relationship so private. You will never know who I'm
Who
with.
fucking Stephen A. Smith? I want to know. Nah, I'm kidding.
Stephen A. Smith
shout out
making $10
Stephen A.
million a year.
What's that
Shout
white
out
girl's
Stephen A.
name?
Shout out
Something like
Stephen A.
that. That's my dog.
What's that white girl's name? No, I'm playing.
But once again, man, it's like because you're asking, you're creating trauma, man, a drama. But here's the thing. One thing I want to say about the women that come out and say that niggas ain't shit or call me a cheater and do all that type of stuff. It used to bother me, but it doesn't bother me anymore because I understand. Once again, going back to the mental health thing, it's their trauma. Why do you think brings out this big ass reaction from women when another man that they don't know cheats on a woman that they don't know. It's because they've been through it in some kind of way. They saw their mom go through it. It fucked up their family. It creates some kind of trauma. And so it triggers the fuck out of them. So when I see that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give them grace. Just don't come at me personally too much or whatever. But if you want to call me, I get it. You can't stand a cheater. I get that.
Or you a guy they thought was better than that.
Or you thought you was better than that and all that type of stuff like that. You disappoint. Look, back in the past. But once again, you didn't know me back in the past.
Right.
You know the person that I'm trying to be right now. So when people say that, I'm like, sister, I get it. I hope you get help for your trauma, so you can move on. Yeah.
Wait, how bad was your past? Cause you like,
nigga, I was terrible. I was terrible. I was terrible.
This is a single or
no? So I got married when I was 19 years old. So
oh wow! Now see that's. But see, listen, it counts, but it don't count.
Yeah,
You're 19.
Did you go overseas?
You shouldn't be married at 19.
Okay,
so
there it is right there.
You was Philippines. Wait, so you was 19. You was black and you was in the Philippines. That shit shouldn't count.
I know, but it does.
You sent me over there at 29, 39, 49. That shit don't count.
I remember when I was saying I was going over and I told my first sergeant I'm getting married, right? When I got my orders. He said, why the fuck you taking sand to the beach? That's the first time I heard that expression.
Right.
Why you taking sand to the beach? And I get over there and my wife can't get a passport for 6 months. She can't get a visa for 6 months.
She can't even come over.
So I'm over there by myself for 6 months, bro. 6 months. All these women, I'm talking about fine ass Filipino.
And you was in basic training, you was ripped and shit.
I was about 190 pounds. That's when I was
diesel.
That's when I was fine. You know what I'm saying?
He said that's when I was
fine.
That's
when I was God's gift. You know what I mean?
You light skin,
ladies. That's when I was God's gift. Look at the pictures, nigga. I was like Al B. Shore in that bitch when Al B. Shore was the shit. You know what I'm saying? High top fade, light skinned niggas, mustache, boom.
He was in the military base like, I can tell you how I feel.
Falsetto, all that.
So I was over there, man. I'm talking about like it was good for me because like I go downtown and women who charged didn't even want to charge me. They
said it was
good
for me.
They wanted to fuck me, but I held out. Bruh. What's crazy is, and I said this in the book, so I ain't lying about nothing. I held out for the 6 months she couldn't get over there. I didn't do shit. Women wanted to fuck. I'm talking about women that were on base, that was in the military, knowing I was pregnant, knowing I was married, still want to fuck me. Didn't want to fuck. I said, I'm my wife and everything. As a matter of fact, one of my wife's best friends to this day was a woman that tried to hit on me. And she told my wife, I tried to hit on him, but he was good. And he's like, no, I want you to meet my wife. I introduced them.
Wow.
And they're still best friends to this day.
Yeah, keep your friends
to this
close,
day. So it was crazy. You know what I mean? So shout out to Winnie who didn't fall for it or whatever. But the thing is, when she got there, my wife got there and we started having some issues. Nigga, I had to go downtown. You know what I'm saying? I went downtown.
Wait. She couldn't get over for 6 months. Then she gets over. How long was that before you went downtown?
Probably about a month. You know what I'm saying?
God.
Yeah, probably about a month. Because it was
so
like,
first marriage was 7 months.
So no. My first marriage lasted 9 years.
Oh, okay.
No, but I was so the only one that like when it comes to my marriage, I talk about it like I was terrible because I didn't know what I was doing. We both kind of had indiscretions, and I'm not blaming her for anything. I think my indiscretions caused her to go that way. Okay. You know what I mean? I take the full responsibility for that. But I was young, in the military, looking good a certain way. Get out the military, go into the broadcast industry, on TV, known, women around. Your local celebrity is there, whatever. Bam, we go to the club together. She's in the bathroom. Women in there talking about fucking me the week before and shit like that.
Wow.
Seriously, man, that's. And I'm not proud of that. I hate that I did that, but that's who I was, and I'll admit that. So we got a divorce, whatever. We're still cool now, and I'm very proud of her. My second marriage, though, bro, I was faithful for 8 years. I didn't do shit. Because I was like, no, I'm going to be a better man. I got another child. I don't want to be without my child again, because I was already without my first child. So I tried to do it, and the reason for this was she wasn't doing some of the things that I needed done. Right. You know, we all need to know. Right. We need some sex. We need peace. We need this and everything. We need something that you can bring to the table. Right. And not trying to put the blame on her, but I wasn't going to get a divorce because I didn't want to be without my child. Right. You know what I mean? And so I said, you know what? I got to get it some kind of way. And
I always said that I wouldn't be divorced. I wouldn't be without my child. But I was in a situation where I think I can't, you can't prove shit. So this is all speculatory. I think she thought that I had indiscretions. She was under the impression that I had indiscretions. So she had indiscretions.
Yep. Yep.
Because, once you get, listen, once a chick get her girls in her ear,
The intuition.
yo, once a miserable bitch getting a happy bitch ear, yo, this is some Einstein shit.
Yeah.
E equals a miserable bitch times MC, which means a chick that's doing good in a relationship. That shit fucks up. Once a miserable bitch getting in a chick that's good ear, she makes her. She thought I had indiscretions.
Yeah.
And then couple that with her friends in her ear, and it was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna do me.
Can I tell you something about that?
Go ahead.
Because what I found out is a lot of my women's friends will do that, be that miserable woman you're talking about.
I can't believe how
They'll-
chick
they'll-
that
they'll
your
be-
friends ain't never had a man, can't keep a man, but that's who you're gonna listen to.
You do things to cause the breakup of our relationship, and then come back around. So many of my wife's friends
I was reaching out to you now,
they try to fuck me.
dude. Bruh, Mike,
Women on
Mike,
Instagram
They get you
Mike,
to
that say they,
self-sabotage
I
yourself.
love Cynthia, blah blah blah. How could, these same chicks that's going hard on me, I see them sometimes, and I start reading other blog sites.
Right.
After a while, I just don't want to buy into that stuff like that. I see who they are, and then they be right in my
I've
DMs.
lived it, bruh.
I mean,
lived
like,
it.
y'all trifling this shit.
I've lived it, bitch. He ain't shit.
Yep.
Fuck him. Oh, y'all ain't.
What really hurts?
Then she, hey Tone, what's up, Tone?
Yeah, it's like
always thought she was a good dude.
she did her handiwork and now she's there to pick up the pieces.
Because now misery loves company, bro.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah.
realest shit ever.
What-
Misery love company.
what really, I'm not gonna say make me mad, but it makes me think. It's like, man, why does it gotta be like that? Like when you try to do the right thing, and you have someone who just can't believe that you are doing the right thing, and even it's like you can't win for doing the right thing. So it's like you might as well do the wrong thing just because
Nah, I
they're
don't
gonna.
subscribe to that.
Okay, no.
I saw a meme on Instagram one day that said,
No,
all he do is say he got you and take care of you. Bitch, you dating a real nigga. Calm down.
Yeah.
He might not do it the way you. This is the problem. He might not do it the way you want it done.
There it
he
is.
might not do A, B, C, D. He might go A, Z, K, L, B, but it gets done.
But he covering every letter.
He
in
take
there.
care of everything.
Yep.
He
Everything.
just don't do it the way you want him to do it. He just don't talk the way you want him to talk. He don't conduct himself. But the shit get done. You are taken care of. But that ain't good enough for you.
The one thing that in a lot of relationships, and you've been married. I don't know if you've ever heard this. A man say this. He said, "Look, you can tell me what to do, but you can't tell me how to do it."
Yeah.
But like I'm not gonna listen to you either way. I'm gonna do what I want to do, how I want to do it anyway. But I'll at least listen to you. But when you are being a man, there's always, if you're in the wrong relationship, there's always that woman that doesn't think you're man enough for her.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's not someone
But then
you
you gotta decide that before you get in a relationship. You gotta get to know the person before you get in a relationship. Are you guys right and compatible for each other? Like you said,
Right.
I don't need anybody, and I want a woman that don't necessarily need me but want my ass.
Right,
And
right,
on
right.
your point, and on your point, no matter what you do, when you feel like no matter how you're living, you can go out there and be in the streets and be on your best behavior, and she's still bringing drama back. Yeah, that's tough. Because once again, once a cheater, always a what?
I don't like the word cheater.
No. Once a cheater, always a what? What they say?
You trying to find another
But,
word.
but what do they
cheater.
say?
Yeah,
Once a
cheater,
con, always a what?
always a con.
Once an addict, always a
Addict.
Once a hoe, always a
Hoe.
See, a woman won't go there. A woman won't go there, and we got video proof of them hoeing around. at
Hypocrites.
Freaknik. You know what I'm saying?
Hypocrites.
Yeah.
So once again, it's like you can reform. A lot of women can reform because
Right.
you had your whole phase.
Oh, they had their help.
You went through it.
Ran around.
You may have been a side
ran around
chick.
in the motherfucking
You may have been around causing marriages or
Your
relationships
girls
to
was
break
hoes.
up.
Your girls was hoes.
Yep.
See, now that's what
But
I
you
wanted
wasn't.
to ask you. What makes a good side chick? Because
One that keeps her mouth shut. no, that's when I was doing what I was doing. I'm not doing that.
so there is such a thing. There is such a thing.
Such a thing as a good side chick?
A good side chick.
I would imagine.
But see, that's everybody has their own.
The conflict with your conflict with side chick is that now we live in an age where everything is to be publicized.
Yes.
So that goes against the side chick moral code,
Yeah. So
right?
Yeah.
You can't be taking selfies on the beach with the dude if you the side chick. But that's the moral code. It goes.
There is a whole reality show based on this
because they're looking for fame. So
they should have you on the show.
Here's
they wouldn't want
the
me.
best side chick. The only people that should have side chicks are dudes who are rich enough to keep their asses quiet.
Oh, okay.
Look at a lot. They to keep their and they don't need fame. They don't want anything. They just want access and they want to be treated right. They want their shit paid for, whatever. Those are the only side chicks that anybody should. And I ain't saying condoning side chicks.
Right. This is Fox question. I don't take no part in this
all
question.
I'm saying is like if you ain't making millions and millions of dollars, where you can fly them in, like, hey, here, sign this DNA. It was not in DNA, but NDA. Sign this NDA. Keep your mouth shut. Don't ever talk about this ever to your friends or nobody else. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna come down here and eat this lobster. You're gonna come down here. We're gonna get you jet skis, you and your girls and all that. Y'all gonna live the life. I'm gonna come in here once or twice out of the week that you here. I'm gonna fuck you and I'm gonna leave you. And you ain't gonna say a motherfucking thing. Those are the only side chicks that if any man decides to have, he wants. And you look at a lot of these athletes and entertainers out there. Right. Those are the only ones that can do it. Tony Rock's got the kind of money to do it.
But Brother Hill, aren't you giving side chicks hope and expectations by saying that lobster, dude?
Well, what I'm saying is some of them side chicks ain't worth the lobster. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You know and they got no hope.
Ain't got no hope.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you, but some of them, y'all got to work to get your phone bill paid. That's
Wait, I want to get back to the Mike Hill story real quick.
Okay.
Because you were so dope on ESPN. Bro, I'm telling you, I look at your career and I'm like, yo, this is the job. I would be sitting next to Mike Hill or in Mike Hill's seat if I would have went the traditional route. Yeah. What happened at ESPN, if you can say?
Yeah, so it's in the book too, man. ESPN, I was under contract with ESPN. I was there for 9 years, and I was supposed to be there for a 10th year. And Fox Sports actually came, and this is how I'll talk about timing once again.
Right.
Fox Sports came around, and they wanted to start a new show. And I came out here, met the people and everything. They wanted to hire me. But I was still under contract for a year and a half at ESPN.
Okay.
And I'm like, fuck. You know, I still keep thinking about the Usher song, you want to leave the one you with, start a new relationship with you. Like, I'm with this woman.
Wait, so you came out and met with them. Sorry to cut you off. You met with them. Was it a more lucrative offer and like more appealing?
Was just, I wanted to be at Fox because they were going to allow me to be the person I really was.
Okay.
It was going to be more money, and it was LA.
And you wanted to be here for the acting.
I wanted to be
here. You still want to act?
I still want to act. So it was going to be me, transitioning and doing everything I wanted to do. And when I met, man, it was like I was in love. I would go back to ESPN. I would get fucking sick. I would get physically sick walking into that building.
Wow.
Because it was like, I don't want to be here anymore.
In Bristol.
Didn't want to be here anymore. And then, but my contract wasn't up, so Fox wasn't going to make an offer to me, right? Because I was still in the contract. They would have been investigating or whatever. And I couldn't go to ESPN and say, hey, I want out of my contract with a year and a half. Then they held that against me and say, no, you can't leave. And then a year and a half later, they don't even offer me a contract. So what happened is, once again, God looking out for me too. I'm favored. About 3 months after that, after I met with them, waiting for them to start up, they was going to start in August. It was May 18th, I remember. Somebody called me and said, hey, can you meet me in this guy's office who's the head of production with the talent coordinator? And I'm like, what the fuck they want to meet with me for? Blah, blah. I'm thinking maybe they're going to give me a new show and all that type of stuff like that. And so I called my agent. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? Why they want to meet with me tomorrow? And it's like, let me do some digging. So he does some digging. He calls me back about an hour later. He said, tomorrow's going to be your last day.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? What? I'm thinking, why? He's like, well, it's gonna be. I'm like, yeah, just when you go in and they'll find out. I'm like looking at Twitter to make sure I ain't say no stupid shit. Right. I'm like, what did I do? Like, I had just gotten a great review. I had a radio show over there. I'm doing all the shows in the building, all that shit like that. I'm like, what? Somebody said, I thought I was going in the meeting because I thought they was going to offer me a new show in LA.
Right.
Because the guy said, I want to talk to you about something, right? Bro, I go in the next day, the guy starts talking. He's like, hey, we make these decisions and it's hard to make, but you're doing more radio, you're not doing as much television, we're doing some cutbacks or whatever, so we're just gonna, end your contract right now. I'm like, okay, and he said, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I'm surprised you're doing this because, like I'm up in 2014, it was 2013. I'm up in 2014 and blah, blah, this is kind of, early and shit like that. And he ain't even listening. And I was like, this doesn't seem right. I just got a good review and all that. I said, I could have gone to Fox.
Right.
Fox has been wanting me like, well, why didn't you tell us you wanted to go to Fox? We would have let you. I'm like, so you'd have let me out even though I'm not up until 2014. He's still not computing and shit like that. And then finally, after about 10 minutes of this, and I'm listening to it, And he says, you keep saying 2014. What is 2014? And then that's when I realized that he did not realize that my guaranteed contract wasn't up until July of 2014.
Oh, wow.
And it's May of 2013.
Right.
So I told him with so much pride, I said, well, my contract is not up. I sound like Denzel. Until July of 2014.
Until 2014.
Until 2014. And he looks, and all of a sudden I see this lady on the side. She's going through the paperwork. And she does like, yeah. She says, yeah, it's true. And he said, I guess it's too late to change our mind. I'm like, yeah, it's too late. Next day I'm on a flight to Fox, man, and come out here, do a quick interview. They offer me a job. I don't say anything about it. I go back to ESPN. Like, they owe me now for a year, so 14 months of pay, guaranteed money. Even if I don't work another day, I ain't have to step foot back in Bristol again. I would have been paid for 14 months without working at all.
They still owe what you saying?
They would have still owed.
They would have still owed.
They would because
yeah.
they let me go.
Right.
And my contract was guaranteed.
Right.
So it's almost like a coach being fired before his
Right.
contract. You still paying him his contract. And so I'm like, okay, well, I know I got a job already secured in LA. They didn't know this. So I'm like, hey man, I just want to move on, blah, blah, buy me out my contract. So they had to buy me out of my contract, which was pretty substantial at the time. So I got that free money, which put my daughter through school and all that stuff like that, a little left over, and so that's what I'm saying. That's why God works in His time, bro.
Yes.
And everything.
Yeah, it's like He
Question
clears a
it.
path for you, and it's like, oh, okay, yes. Your attitude was, I mean, it may have been frustrating, but just like when you know God has a plan for you, you just let things, it just unfolds.
You just let it happen, man. And then, what's crazy is I got out here, and I was supposed to do radio and TV. Radio kind of fell through, so I just started doing TV, so I was going to get half my contract. But once again, I had that money that was already there.
Right.
So I humbled myself because they had already hired everybody. They made a special hire because they wanted me. So I come out here, which I love Fox to this day. No matter what, they could fire me tomorrow. I would still love these people over there, Fox Sports.
Nice.
So I was doing updates. Now, I had been doing Sports Center, did everything in the building, whatever, but I humbled myself. I'm doing 15-second updates. I'm filling in. I'm just doing anything they wanted me to do or whatever. But I kept my head down. I was nice to everybody from wardrobe to makeup to production. He was a production assistant to the head of the damn company. I'm treating you the same way, right?
They say always be nice to wardrobe. They make you look good.
Always.
They always say that. Always be nice to wardrobe.
Wardrobe and makeup,
Wardrobe
man.
makeup,
And you never know, like even the production assistants, sometimes these production
they go on
assistants,
to be directors.
They go on to become your boss.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So 20 years later, I'm looking at somebody who was a production assistant. They running like a production assistant I brought to ESPN. Is now the head of Madison Square Garden, bro.
Wow.
You know, she running things over at Madison.
So we going to Knicks games when we go back home.
Shout out to Talea Wilkins. Yeah, we
going to Knicks games.
Shout out to Talea. Talea knows you owe me. You know what I'm saying? Not that I ever want it back. But so like after 3 months of humbling myself, then they say, hey, you know what? If you don't even think about radio when to bring you in full time, you want to tear up your contract. I was making good money when they first brought me in, and they gave me 150% raise.
Oh, wow.
Tore it up.
Man.
Re-signed the largest contract I had ever signed in my life, whatever. And they gave me my own show. That was America's Pregame that ran for 2 years and everything, man. So, man, I'm telling you, like, life is great, man. And I ain't complaining about nothing because I'm on God's time. And I am favored and I'm blessed.
All right, on some black people shit, what's the first thing you bought with that biggest contract you ever signed?
I got a new car.
Okay.
I got a new. I've
What'd you
always
get?
got a Lexus. I always got a Lexus.
We still black at the end of the day, y'all. We still black.
Give me a car.
But I just say it, man. I just know that like sometimes like I used to be one of them people that's gonna go out there and spend money, but now I know that it's important for your financial literacy.
Yeah, my sister says it's not how much you make, it's how much you save.
It's investing, bro.
Yeah,
you know, it's almost like like Jay-Z says, man. You know, I could have spent $2 million for building in Dumbo. You know, now that motherfucker worth $20 million.
Yeah.
How do I feel? Dumbo. You know what I mean? Saying?
Yeah. Yo, listen, man. We got to wrap this up. I want to say, Mike, you don't even know the esteem that I hold you in. You are my favorite sportscaster. You and Warner Wolf. You know Warner Wolf is?
Warner Wolf. Let's go to the videotape. Yeah.
I grew up in New York. Warner Wolf was the guy we would run to the TV to watch all the time. Fox is not a sports guy, so I'm shocked that he even sat through this whole thing and was able to.
That's how I was.
Well, we related on cheating.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He's not a sports guy at all. So I'm like, yo, Fox sat did a great job, amazing job. Yo, my brother, I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
You are definitely blessed and definitely favored, and I appreciate you taking this journey with us in stand-up. Anything you ever need on my end, you know, you just make a phone call. I'm there. Tell them about the book. Tell them where to follow you. Tell them everything you're working on.
I'm open mic. You can get it on Barnes & Noble, wherever books are sold. It's in Walmart. It's online, Amazon.com, as well as my memoir. Follow me at It's Mike Hill, ITS Mike Hill. And I'm trying to hit these stages out here. Fox Sports, I'm doing that on weekends as well. College football and college basketball. So I'm around, man. I'm in these streets, bitches.
Fox.
Joe Fox, Joe Feezy, JoeFeezie. Make sure you get your tickets for Arlington Improv, New Year's Eve weekend, December the 28th through the 31st. We're going to be there, the Rock the Mic tour, also with my man Trey Elliott. Don't play yourself. Get your tickets.
Look, follow all of this stuff right here. Just put it right here. There's a lot of stuff.
There you go. Production.
Right
Get the
there.
book here. Follow subscribe here. Follow this. Follow that. Follow that.
I don't see
Charleston,
you moving. You're not
I
doing
love
anything.
you. I love Charleston. I love you to tuning back.
I love
Yo,
that.
this is live from the green room. It's Mike Hill. It's Joe Feezy. It's Tone Rock, y'all. Peace.
My man, dog. Yeah,
That was dope. That was dope.